Welcome into the studio. It's Eric Roberts at Worship Band Builder, and today we're actually going to be looking at this screen right here, which is my Logic Mix, which is going to be amazing, and it's going to blow your mind. No, I don't know. Maybe some of you will. But we are on the journey at our church right now to basically start mixing live through Logic, and it's something that's pretty big right now. It's pretty popular. Now, I've used Logic extensively on albums as a production engineer many years ago and Pro Tools, so I have a lot of experience on this. I've forgotten a lot over the last couple years, of course, but I want to show my template, my basic template, and this is not for live tracks or anything. This is just how I set it up. I did some other videos on the channel, so check in the description about how to kind of set this up with your Behringer X32. And so now I'm going to show you my actual setup for Sunday, and I'm going to explain to you why I did it like this and what I'm doing, why I did it like this, and why I'm doing this. Basically, I go in and I created 16 or 15, 16, 17 tracks, and I taught that in a different video, so I'll kind of get off that. I want to show you the special track that I created because I'm running on a little bit older laptop. I'm not going to have 30,000 plugins on this, but I do want to have one important plugin, which is reverb. So reverb is important, and the room mic. So I have two different things here that make this mix sound acceptable, and I'll turn them off for you maybe, and I'll show you what it sounds like without the room and without the reverb, and then you'll know, oh yeah, I better do that. The main reverb that I put on here, I put it on a bus, and it's a large room. I messed around with a couple others, and this just seemed to be the brightest one. I did notice that my overall mix was kind of dark when I tried to use like a chamber, some different things. So you're going to have to find the reverb that sounds good for your room and for your people. But what I did was I ran this on a bus, and then I sent, you can see these little green things are sends. So I sent those to, you can use this little volume and turn this up. So I have the snare, has some reverb on it. This is the acoustic, has some reverb on it. The worship leader's mic has some reverb on it, the backup vocals. And then they have, so that's the reverb. Let's listen to the reverb, then I'll get in the compression. Okay, so let's see what we'll listen to it right here and just see. I recorded some snippets of the week. Okay, so that's basically it. You can kind of hear the tail of the reverb. It's a small reverb. So I'm going to turn off the reverb now. I'm going to mute the reverb, and I'm going to mute the room mic and listen to this. Okay, you hear that? That's muted. Now let's unmute it and listen. Wow, I mean that's a big difference to me, like to my ears, to how I feel, how it makes me feel. How does it make me feel? I mean, when you hear the reverb, it just makes it feel so much better, so much louder. Not louder. I need it to be louder. My headphones are down. With this new setup, it's very hard for me to turn up my headphones. I don't know why. But anyway, got a lot going on there. So this is my room mic. Let's listen to just my room mic. And I talk about a room mic in other videos. And here's what the room mic sounds like. Okay, so that's just a room mic, and you hear it. It creates this sort of realistic space when it's added to the mix. So here it is in the mix. Actually, I'm going to turn off the reverb and just have the room mic, and you'll hear what it adds. I'm going to turn off the room mic. Okay, so that cut off. Let's go to a different part. Let's go to a different set here. Okay, so okay, that's no room mic and just very little and no reverb. Okay, so here's the room mic alone with that set. Then we'll throw in the reverb too. So it livens up the mix, and that's what I did. That's the biggest part of what I did to make this not sound like complete, like completely terrible, just flat and like ew. Like who wants to listen to that? That's kind of what it feels like when you hear your voice in a dry mic with no room and no reverb. People can't handle that. I mean, it's very hard to listen to. So. And it's very hard, especially if you're the vocalist and you listen to a recording back and you go, oh my goodness. But if you put a verb on there, real nice big verb, and put some nice room in there, and then you can listen back to it and go, okay. And look, I gotta get we stand and sing. All of its brilliance, the King of glory, the King above all kings. Yeah, this is amazing grace. All right, so listen to that with no reverb. We'll kick the reverb out and the room mic, and we'll listen to that little segment again. It sounded pretty good there before. Brilliance, the King of glory, the King above all kings. Yeah, this is amazing. Okay, good. Now I'll throw back in the room mic and throw back in the verb. All of its brilliance, the King of glory, the King above all kings. Yeah, this is amazing. All right, so I put a little bit of reverb on the snare. I put a little bit of that. So I compressed the pastor's mic, and that sounded really good. I won't show you that right now because I don't think I recorded him. Maybe I did, but I don't think I did. The acoustic guitar, I had a little bit of compression on the acoustic guitar, and I had a little bit of compression on the lead vocals and both vocals. So a little bit of compression in EQ and a little bit of reverb. So you can see in this template, I'm focusing on a lot on the lead vocals and the backup vocals because I talked about that before. If the vocals sound really good in the mix, everything's going to kind of sound good. The drums and the bass sound all pretty good, and I kind of went through this in my other one, but in my other video. But you can hear the drums and the bass, and let's put in the bass, let's put in the electric guitar, and let's just listen to that. That's the band, and actually the acoustic. No, yeah, and so the band just sounds like a good pad, basically, and you put the lead vocals on top, and then you have something that people's ears are going to listen to. People listen to, if you listen to country music, people tend to listen to that lead vocal a lot. I mean, it pops out in the mix. You want it to be on top, but not like, one thing I don't like, and this isn't about mixing, really, but one thing I don't like is when the lead vocal is popped out so far. A lot of people will mix like this. Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Worthy is the King who conquered the grave. I can't even get it loud enough to make it annoying. So if you can get it as loud as you can, and some people will mix the whole band really soft, and then they'll have the lead vocalist just out there, just way out there soaring in the mountains. You know? Worthy is the Lamb who was slain. Oh, that's kind of like, worthy is the King who conquered the grave. So when I was mixing this, and when you're mixing for the recording, for live it's a little bit different. I mean, there is finesse in a live mix, but in the recording I've noticed that just one little movement, just one notch down on the lead vocal or one notch up brings it to a different light. So in the mix for the live stream, you can really change the mix just by barely moving the faders, just barely tweaking them just a little bit. And that's what I'll talk about in more videos. This video just to show you the template, just to show you how I'm basically thinking about this. And I will get a lot more complicated and detailed as I move on. I'll probably work on the drums a lot. The bass drum and the bass guitar don't really thump like I want them to yet. There's really no EQ on anything else. If you can see, and that's probably where I will begin, is in my EQ settings. I will start EQing these instruments with this recorded material, so that when I go back it's like, yeah, this is better. So the other thing with this is, if you guys have band members, every week you have a new band member, and every new week you have a bass player. We have some of that. We have a bass player a new bass player in like every other week. They bring different stuff. So this is part of the plan of creating a really good mix is going to be me helping and working with the band to like get the right tone on the bass, because when it's alive, it's like, yeah, it's pretty cool, and it's over and nobody, you hear it, but then when you put it in a recording, it's like, oh well, that bass, like you'll notice that in your band there'll be a bass player's bass, they're like, that bass sounds good, like out of all these guys that are rotating in, his bass sounds the best. It generally happens. Same thing with electric guitar and pedal boards and stuff. You can really change the whole sound just bringing in a different pedal board. So you really, for churches, we're rotating people. So one week you got a guy with this pedal board, next week you got a guy with this thing, and it can change the whole sound. So if you're doing a lot of that rotating, you're just going to have to be working on taking notes or even saving out channel strips, saying this is the channel strip we use when this person's here, and it works for their instrument, and especially like with their voice too. But I'm just working right now because we're in like a shutdown, COVID-19 kind of shutdown. We're kind of working with the same band almost every week, and that's good. That's a good thing. And as we start rotating more people, then it's going to get a little more complicated to make the mix sound good, because we'll have to tweak each person as they come in. Anyway, you have any questions, let me know. You can always check it out, worshipbandbuilder.com. You can contact me there. Leave your comments down here. Be nice, because, I'm just showing you what I'm doing. Be nice. Don't say anything mean. Nah, you guys wouldn't do that, would you? All right, I'll see you next time.